Hello and welcome to the Federal. The present political situation in Pakistan is such that the Imran Khan government is seriously threatened by the opposition, which is leveling serious allegations of mismanagement of the foreign policy and the economy on the Tehreek-e-Insaf government. Today, I am joined by K.S. Dakshin Murthy, managing editor of the Federal, who specializes in international affairs and is here to shed light on the present situation in Pakistan. According to you, what are the chances of Pakistan PM's survival in this situation?
For the first time, I think the Pakistan Prime Minister Imran Khan is facing a real threat. There has also been a no confidence motion a year ago where he survived. There was no issues, but this time around, the threat is real. It's also real because number one, the Pakistan economy is still in doldrums. It has not recovered from the COVID. The COVID-induced slowdowns. Even before the COVID-induced slowdowns, it was not in great shape, and there has been a rising opposition to his government, and so he's finding it difficult. And we are also hearing that this particular government, Tehreek-e-Insaf government of Imran Khan, is not doing very well in the sense of the relationship it has had with the army. So even that is a problem. So combined, if you look at it in totality, the army is seen to be withdrawing from supporting Imran Khan, and that's why you see this thing blowing up. Because why should it make that kind of a difference? Also, in terms of numbers, if you see the National Assembly, you have the Tehreek-e-Insaf and the allies with 179 members, and the opposition comprises 162. So basically, all you need for 9 members from the ruling, from the allies or from anyone within the ruling coalition to shift to the opposition. Then what would happen is the opposition would get 171, and and it will be one more than what Imran Khan's party has, and the government is gone. So that is what is going to happen. That is what is expected. So the motion of no confidence was accepted on Tuesday, but when exactly this will happen is not clear. It should happen soon, but there are also speculation that there may be attempts to prolong it or attempt to somehow delay. So I mean that's how it is. But when the no confidence motion comes, he's going to be in trouble.
But why is it that Imran Khan's government is presently under siege?
I mean, I think you're probably asking me about the underlying reasons for the situation. If you go back a little into time, say when Imran Khan came into power in 2018, he was strongly backed by the army. In Pakistan, there are 3 structures that run parallel to each other. These are power structures. Unlike India, where the elected government is very powerful, and the elected government is the one that really runs the show. But in Pakistan, over a period of time, for a variety of reasons, you have 3 different structures. You have the Pakistani government, elected or the elected government, and then you have the military, and then you have the ISI, the Inter-Services Intelligence of Pakistan. So these 3 power structures play a role in Pakistan, and amongst these, the military is the most powerful. At least they hold an edge over the other 2. So what happened in 2018 was that Imran Khan came to power with the backing of the military, and it surprised everyone because no one really expected him to come, because the Tehreek-e-Insaf party it's not a very old party. People didn't think it had the heft to actually win the election, but they could because the army basically was backing it. Now, what has happened is in recent times, there is one particular issue which I can give as an example. There have been some issues where Imran Khan and the army have differed with each other. This one particular issue, more like an illustration, is the ISI chief. His name is Faiz Hamid Chowdhury, General Faiz Hamid Chowdhury. Imran Khan wanted to make him the successor to the current chief of the army staff, General Qamar Javed Bajwa. Now, Qamar Bajwa, for instance, was the one who backed Imran Khan, and he's going to retire in November, that is later this year. So Imran Khan was attempting to make Faiz as the General Faiz of the ISI into this position of Bajwa. Now, this was resented by the military, by large sections of the military, because it was seen to undermine the army. Sorry, he was made to, so the reason for this is that the army has been so powerful, it cannot withstand or accept that there can be any move to undermine its strength. So the point here is Imran Khan insisted on it, and this caused tension. So this is one of the reasons for tension. The other kind of a tension is that the U.S. Army is broadly, historically, always been close to the United States, and what Imran Khan has been doing in recent times is trying to cozy up to Russia. And in fact, he was there recently when Russia invaded Ukraine. Imran Khan happened to be in Moscow. And he has not criticized Russia for its actions. And within the Pakistani military, there is a kind of a discomfiture. So all these things put together, there are many other reasons as well, but we'll not go into that. But broadly speaking, this is what has happened. So he has antagonized the army, which helped him come to power. So now when the army also, the army also is very careful. They don't want to be blamed for this economic mess that the that Pakistan finds itself in. So this is another reason why they're backing off at the support, and that will make it easier because the army will shift its support to the opposition. There are already speculation that is moving closer to the PML of Nawaz Sharif, the Pakistan Muslim League of Nawaz Sharif. So everything is in place for the no confidence motion to happen and him to be replaced.
And this unfolding scenario in Pakistan, will this have any impact on Indo-Pak relations?
Yes, in the sense that generally a change in a democratic government from one democratic government to another has not seen that kind of a change historically. If there has been a change from a democratically elected government to a military government, like in the past, there have been times when that has impacted its relationship with India. But coming to the current situation, for the last about a year, there has been a ceasefire between India and Pakistan across the border in Kashmir on both sides. And this is held. So far, there have been no kind of breaking of the ceasefire. So it's actually been quite peaceful. In fact, many people on the border, the local people are quite happy that there have been no such skirmishes, because at the end of the day, they are the ones who suffer when there is a skirmish. So to that extent, the hostility levels and has come down drastically between these two countries. It was, if you remember, in 2019, after the Pulwama attack and India filed a missile into Balakot, there was the tensions were again very high, and then in fact there was a small kind of a sporadic firefight also that happened between the two countries, but thankfully it didn't go out of hand. But since then, and currently at the moment, there has been a kind of a easing of tensions between the two countries. And for instance, if you last week when India fired a unarmed missile accidentally into Pakistan, Pakistan I think reacted quite maturely. Though they did not really fully accept India's explanation that it was accidentally. At the same time, they also did not precipitate the issue. They wanted to be part of the investigation into how this happened. India, of course, obviously did not agree, but Pakistan did not precipitate this. But and at the moment, the relationship is on an even keel. It does not seem that any big change will happen if Imran Khan goes and say Nawaz Sharif comes in. I don't think it's going to make that happen.
Also, there are two public meetings that have been planned by the opposition and the government on March 25 and March 27. So will they have any significant political impact?
See, these kind of public shows of support or protests or demonstrations are mainly to exhibit how strong you are. It's more like a posturing. It really does not make a difference, because eventually the voting is going to happen within the National Assembly. But the Pakistan People's Party has been a little worried, and in fact, they have already saying that there have been some kind of a raids on some of its members. They also fear that there could be a kind of attack on their headquarters, and so this kind of a slight trepidation is there within the PPP. But eventually, well, the no confidence motion has been accepted in the sense that the voting will happen on it. So Imran Khan really can't get away from it. These kind of what you're asking about, these kind of public demonstrations, they do have, of course, have a role. If but in today's situation in Pakistan, I don't think it's going to make that kind of a difference between Imran Khan for Imran.
The next few weeks will be a major test for the Imran Khan government, and we will also see whether Imran Khan, what will he fade into the oblivion just as quickly as he rose into prominence. Thank you for logging into the Federal.